Hello, Super Robot fans. Welcome back to this entry into the archives. My name's Austin, and we are going to be continuing our playthrough of Alpha today. I hope everyone is doing so well. I kind of am not. This will be the second time I'm recording this, so just fair warning, some of these things are going to be said with an amount of knowledge behind them. I, for sure, just looked over at my recording, went, I've been talking for an hour and a half. That record button doesn't look blue now, does it? So unfortunately, I kind of know what's happening in this scenario a bit. But that's fine. Oh, goodness gracious. Who let me have a microphone? Okay. We are going to start back on the not Miklon, that's us, Zentradi battleship. Exodor and, I can't remember the guy's name, Britai, are talking about a most devious plan that they have had. They seem like the kind of people who would fly a white flag if they were sailing into a port or meeting up with another ship and then sabotage the ship that was trying to come and rescue them. So they have sent out an SOS signal to a local base, the Sarah base on Mars, which also happens to be the base that Misa was interested in looking into. So the Macross, being the good people that we are, take a look at said SOS signal, but we have learned a lesson or two from our time in the galaxy, and we are sending out a cat's eye surveillance vehicle. I am unfamiliar with said machinery, having not watched Macross, but I appreciate the fact that we're not just being dumb idiots about everything, that we have some amount of caution to it. So it seems like what we're going to do is sort of walk into the trap, but almost knowingly. And I think that makes good sense for the professionalism that we have demonstrated thus far, or I guess increasingly so now that we have an actually proficient captain and fleet going on. A small moment, but in there, Elle, the girl with pink hair, she has another one of her psychic I don't know what this is called from Dunbine, but she gets another sort of Esper reading, and it seems comparable to some of the other times we've interpreted some Espers before, which seems really incorrect for Exodor, Britai, and their little grunt man Kamjin. It feels more akin to what we were talking about with or Ingram, or I don't think she ever actually encountered Shu. But that maybe is pointing to whatever the man's name that Misa was looking for was. Actually, I guess I'm assuming it's a guy, but I'm not even sure that's true. Hold the phone. That took way too long to find. The man we're looking for is, as my translation is saying, Raibar, Raibar. I'm not sure if that's right, but we'll find out when we actually meet him. I wonder if he is the person that Elle is feeling. Here we have a couple of moments that are happening weirdly at the same time. So first, the Getter pilots are telling Bright that the engine is that the Getter machine is not quite working right now. Something strange is happening with it. I don't recall the Getter Dragon metamorphosizing into something, but I feel like this is probably queuing us to get the Shin Getter soon. But the way it's worded makes it sound a little bit more like it's going to be some of the more transformative elements of the Getter rays, but we'll see. But in the middle of this also, a handful of our crew comments on the state of Mars, that it looks sort of like a barren wasteland or like a place for a final battle. I wonder if that's where we're going to go for the last map of this game. But they the crew talks about people seemingly having maybe fought there already, some of the crew members, and they talk about Banjo, a man who I kind of forgot was in this game, simply because he has shown up for one scene way earlier and then just never again. I thought he was going to show up more recently than that, but we'll get back to him in a second. Let's talk about what we're looking at here, just so I can get through the rest of this dialogue. This is an expert point for us. We get to decide whether Misa is going to go down with us to the base that we're going to check out as a scouting prompt. This is yes, this is no. We need to say no to this, which I suspect is probably delaying us or delaying her from meeting Raibar. But it does give us a single point, so obviously that's our choice. Okay. So back to Banjo. He helped fund the SRX and the DC, so he's sort of been a big name in the background, maybe unbeknownst to us, but he's definitely been relevant to a lot of what we've been able to do. And potentially we're going to finally get to meet him. this map, or this, like, around this time period. But he was on Mars, and I'm not sure if this is canon to Daytona 3, having not watched it, but he fought the Meganoids there after they went berserk, when they stopped being sort of these, like, resource gathering, like, worker kind of drone bots. And that's, like, never what I thought the Meganoids were. Not the least of which because the commanders of it are just, like, wild, much more humanoid kind of robots. Like, it seems weird to describe them as workers. Maybe they were. Maybe I'm remembering. I don't remember. Maybe I just don't know correctly. But I'm curious to find that out. But regardless, this is post. It sounds like a lot of the Daytona 3 plot that he's already had that fight here, and that is, like, part of one of the reasons why it looks as desolate as it is. If not for just the fact that, like, it's Mars, it's gonna not be that populated. I think we're just bringing our regular team, or generally everyone who we've been bringing, but Asuka's good. Who else? I don't remember whether we decided we were going to use the Valsion or the Psybuster, but we'll come back to those in a second. Let's take Sho. There's the Psybuster. Oh boy, okay. I think because we had some Gundam stuff, they switched some of our pilots back. So, like, Uso is in the V2 again. We're definitely taking Bullet. I think we weren't really bothering with Kazumi. We only probably need one Ava. We're not doing the Raideen. Where else? There should be. Oh, Emma's in the Super Gundam and not. Okay, that's fine. We'll switch them back afterwards. That's so frustrating. Also, apologies if anyone heard that Discord ping. That's me, not you. Yeah, and Slager's back here in the core booster. I think we're gonna take it anyway and just sort of say, oops, because having a resupplier is probably going to be useful. Or because we have two battleships. Actually, I don't know if we have two battleships. I don't know if we can go into them across. I know I said I played this map already, but I didn't actually remember trying to do that. So we have the... No. We're going to drop the core booster. It's fine. We'll see if we regret it. We're going to take the Valsion and the Psybuster. Wherever you are, yes. And that will be a good. Okay, cool. We're going to pick things back up with Misa after her request was denied. She then starts trying to, like, 5 stages of grief herself, I guess. And she talks through some logic and is, like, pretty confident that Rybar wouldn't actually still be alive at this point. So that's interesting. But we're getting some more interiority about that. I'm sure, like, I don't know what to do. I don't know who this character is. I'm curious to follow up on that later. Hopefully I'll remember all these little moments. But while Misa was having a conversation, our search party, the surprise attack that Kamjin was going to lead was exposed by one of his soldiers getting a little too excited too soon. So we know that they are here now. We want to send someone over to kill Kamjin because he is also our second expert point for this map. Let's take a look at our objectives. We have just one for right now, which is our usual destroy everything, and if Macross is destroyed, we lose. This is one of the reasons why I mentioned that I've already played this map before, because this is unfortunately going to give us kind of a pretty significant edge over what's happening here, but I can't. Trying to pretend like I don't know is not going to make this map any more interesting, so unfortunately I do, but we are going to get some reinforcements from the south at some point, so we want to be prepared for those. I think, and to be prepared for this, I think we can send the what's this called? The Don Cougar down there. We're probably going to want to send at least something else. We definitely, like, the large contingency of enemies is over here. But, large contingent of enemies is over there, but that will do. Let's excel with the Reinforcement Junior, just to get this, like, really far up here. Also, conveniently, the Ava is tied to the battleship we are allowed to move. I guess I didn't show this yet. Hold on, I didn't show this yet. I should go look at that. Here's the Macross. We can't move it. Is definitely a bit of a downside. Okay, let's get these guys moving. Who has Excel? Oh, it's on the last file. Okay. Just bring them like relatively up. Having parts up here is probably going to be pretty relevant. I should check also once we actually get into the middle of combat to see how much spirit they actually can give themselves. Like, I do want to think about it in context because it looks like it gives a lot right now, but maybe I'm not thinking about it like quite clearly. But that will probably help in making the rest of the little bitty units actually survivable. Okay, what spirits do we have on here now, and do they come with Excel at this point? No, they do not. Bummer. Same rules as same thing as last time with Super Gundam. It's not really changing its functionality by the pilots that we have. That was just because they probably have better spirit, or well, they had better spirits, which normally actually would change the functionality. Just in this case, it will not. We're going to probably hit stuff out of range, and that's going to be just fine. Let's bring the Psybuster down here. And I think that will largely cover it for the time being, and we can move a couple of other units back down. You know what? No. Well, we're going to move the Giant Robo also. He is slow to move at this. Is he? I was going to say he's slow to move at this point, but we do actually have an Excel on him now. So he can book it around pretty quickly. Yeah, let's fire it. We also are allowed to get that 130 or that 130 morale more organically this time. We are going to have some pressure at least to get to Kamjin, but outside of that, this map is probably going to be pretty easy. It is a map I've been asking for a while, but I just don't know if Super Robot Wars knows how to pressure it enough. Maybe y'all can guess based on how we're moving things. But, or you don't have to guess because you may have played the map before. I'm probably the one that's behind in terms of playing these games. That's maybe not the right way. So this is Kamjin actually ordering the attack now that they've been exposed. He says staying back and keeping his like guard back, but the Digado are gonna move. And as is usual, they are heckin' obnoxious in that they will not engage they won't actually engage in enemy phase combat because they're too busy like on their mission going to try and land on a base. But that's fine. That's fine. Well, I think it's round 3. Yes, round 3 is when we're gonna like actually see the rest of the map proper. Unfortunately, none of this text is translated. It sure is a lot of it, ain't it? Look at all of that story we don't have. Okay. If I had any sense of a schedule, or I just didn't like booger it up like I did by recording it by forgetting to press the record button, I could have just like translated it for us, but no, we are here. I gotta say though, I can't complain too much about having to redo our translation. It was probably a bit rough. I think I was like falling asleep in the middle of it, and I do kind of recall waking up, or not wait, like coming to full cognizance and thinking I was like sleep talking in the middle of the map. So maybe it's better. Maybe it's better that we have to re-record those, but it's fine. All right. Yeah. So like I want to try and keep one of the Valkyries a little bit in between these two spots, such that if I need to, I can come back down here quickly. I'm going to leave one of the RX-7s over here on the base, or relatively close to it. Actually, yeah, hold on. We can just count this. This is, I believe it's going to take 2 movements. So if we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, that's 6 movements. So was it here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. We're going to move it here, and then it's going to be positionable on the base. And we're going to still leave these goobers here. You know what? Hold on. We'll put the Dankugar a little bit further in so that they can attack it like on spawn. But I'm also realizing that because of how slowly the enemies are showing up, we for sure didn't need to use that Excel. We could have just left it. and let them show up when they did. But like let that be my tax for having played the map before that I have to pay something for that knowledge. Okay. We definitely want to give any of our mappers some of these kills for the sake of getting morale. So let's do this on, okay, sure, that's fine. On the Valsion, but never mind. Never you mind. Is this a good use? Yeah, actually this is probably true too, because we do need Sho to get some morale too. A little bit less though, right? Because the actual attack that matters for him is 110, where the map attack for the Valsion is 120. I think we also... Does he also just start with more morale? He's at 106. I think he does start with more morale. Oh, we need to upgrade his limit, which is actually... I'm glad we finally get to engage with it. But don't they also have... Does he not have Spirit now? Okay, I thought someone got Spirit on in this game recently that actually, like, made a difference for us. May as well try. Incredible. As much as I believe I've been a proponent of the battleships in this game in general, but they sure don't do damage like the battleships used to. There's really very little reason to bullseye when they're not gonna really attack on enemy phase anyway. Like, a bullseye is definitely going to be... We definitely want to save our spirits for when we need to kill something that is about to fail our mission for us. Which, I guess, spoilers, the fact that I've worded it that way, you should know what the kind of objective we're going to be facing now is. But that's fine. Okay, easy. That was 3 levels without a without a gain. Cool. I forgot to actually check, do they have gains? Like, if we're here, we may as well give them levels, right? Like, there's no reason why we shouldn't. Like, in this case, okay, I know what I just said. In this case, I think this is worth spending on, though. Maybe I'll eat those words. Nope, we're good. Look at all them. Look at all them stats. Oh man, it's so easy to jump people's levels into this. That's wild. That is sort of what I had proposed I thought was going to happen though, right? I recall saying that we can just like start tossing people in some of these Gundams to oh right, these guys down here. Okay, yeah. We can start tossing people in some of these Gundams and just like jack their level all the way up with like a chip kill. And turns out that's right. We got 6 levels in 1 attack. Bonkers. Yeah. Just move forward. Right. Okay. I feel like especially during stream, some of my complaining has become misunderstood as dislike. I'm complaining about them because they're annoying, but like they're meant to be annoying. Like it's good that they are annoying. Because that actually makes the objectives real threats rather than the amount of enemies that just like attack knowing that they're going to die to the attack but attack anyway. Like that's silly. So it is good that these enemies are kind of sticky in their ways. They want to stay on the battlefield and aren't interested in participating in whatever tomfoolery I'm up to over here. Or you know what? Hold on. We actually get to use the human form now. Let's use a punch fight. We don't get to see this normally, so let's take a gander at it. I would be even... Are their heads different? Does each pilot have like a custom head for their mech? I don't remember. We see them so frequently. I'm stuck. I'm kind of stuck because the one... I think I'd mentioned that I had a toy of this. We made a mention that I had a toy of the Valkyrie. It was like... It could like transform. And its head did not look like that. Its head looked like what I imagined, what I thought was like the conventional head for Macross Jet. And maybe that's just from a later series. But it has more of a like thin like line across the face kind of visor rather than this like monocle. Okay. So this thing is kind of obnoxious. Well, I'm not. This is a little bit out of position. This is odds are it's going to move to one of this, these 3 spots. And we'd finally have to be weird about movement because we're going to attack it all. That's why I'm going to move to one of these 3 spots and not attack. But we can just have Max cleaned up next turn. I was debating keeping the giant robo here, but I don't think that is necessary. It has enough defense, and it has that beam coating. Okay, well, it has that beam coating, but I'm taking for granted the other enemies have beams. Let's take a look. Gander at 1. I'm assuming that they do because it's a real... They do also seem to have a cannon maybe apparatus on their back, or on their chest, never mind. No, they literally don't have beams. Glad we checked. So we can't rely on the beam coating. That's fine. That said, I do still want to see if we can bait them into some attacks. What's our range? We can't do that, though we could choose to do that. I'm not surprised its range options are not good. This is... Yeah. Oh, this is a map attack. This is a map attack also. So, like, we could pump ourselves to here, but that's only 4 attacks. This is probably a safe bet. I mean, it's just chipping. Like, it's okay if we just chip. So let's see how many we can beat 5 range of. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then that's 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Obviously, they're equidistant. Sorry, that was dumb. So yeah, this puts us in range of 3 of them, which I'm totally fine with. That puts us in range to attack 3 of them. I think we're in range of more than 3 of their attacks, which is different. That's only hitting 2. I'm not sure that's worth it. Because we could bullseye it, and we could move the Bilbine first. We're surely not killing them, but that's also not the worst thing. We do have the Voltace here to like maybe clean them up with the parts. The chunks. Do you have a spirit? No, you do not. Oh, was it Masaki that got a spirit? It may have been Masaki is the one I'm thinking of as far as as far as spirits go. So he can jump himself to his map attack if necessary. Okay. Right, so what is the Bilbine doing? All of these are unhurt. Oh, you know what? Given what we have seen, we actually get to be a bit more sloppy with our placement and our attacks, because it is exceedingly unlikely we are going to get counterattacked in this position from this position, seeing as they just like want to rush to the base. So we actually probably can take some more risky moves because we won't experience consequences for them. Come on. Oh, incredible. Incredible. That's such good news. All right. Just we're not going to be like full commit, just like attack willy-nilly though, because this is still a little bit risky. Well, I mean, we used a flash, but otherwise this would still be pretty risky because like the pieces are the separate strat sure does have a weakness. Okay. You have been softened for the Bilbine to come in and clean up the kill. Not that one. That one. You could stand to... Do we want to use a fortune? It like doesn't feel worth it. Fortunes never feel worth it. But we are sort of just wasting them. We never do anything else with Chom, so let's do it. Nope. And a focus in this case is enough because we only needed 15% to get there. Cool. We got 1100 from that. This could be worse. Oh, and then he also got Spirit too. I am psychic. Maybe I just remember getting Spirit from doing the map the first time. Okay. This is some easy chip. And then yeah, we'll have the Voltace try and clean this up. Once the world's slowest map attack fires, good gracious. It's also really, I think there's like, it's not really funny. It's like a slight chortle. Given that everything has to stand facing towards like this side of the map, but like that laser beam has to come off of the giant like pill capsule front. It's a funny goof to me. Maybe I've been up too late if I find that funny. It's not like laugh out loud funny, you know. Okay. Separate strats also work way better when you don't get counterattacked. And I think we also, I recall identifying that the Voltace was also worse at it than the Combattler is. Like, the Combattler is considerably better at it. Okay, who has the most HP? This one does? Okay. What attack are we dealing with? Even if we get in close, we're still taking their worst attack. Okay, never mind. Full on me for thinking we were going to be able to clear those out quickly. That is okay, though. We do still have a multitude of turns to deal with them. So we could probably take out, what, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units that are up. We could probably take out 2.5 of them, I suspect. I think we can, our chip can work out that way. Do we not have, oh, we do, right. Emma has a focus, but Rekkawa does not. So, like, this is pretty safe and clean. Ooh, never mind. Okay, we have enough morale. Man, I think I've said it a lot, and I will keep saying it. I think the Super Gundam is perhaps the most surprising unit of the game for me. That's easy. We also got enough. We also got actually 30% from that. That's interesting. I wonder why the math was working in a way that actually let us get to the full extent of what focus is supposed to do. We could get closer for some morale. Or not for morale, for some accuracy. Good gracious. I got morale on the brain. Okay, that's actually not enough anyway. So we do have bullseyes. Let's do that. Let me also body block a bit with the Ava unit. And yeah, I think we're setting ourselves up for a better next turn if most of these enemies are available for kills. The Valsion sure does want to get one this time, though, or she wants to try at least to pick up the morale for the map attack. I don't know how relevant that's going to be, seeing as we're killing a lot of grunts now, but there is some potential for some reinforcement, is all I will say. But I know how I narrativized it at the beginning of the episode. I made it sound like I was just replaying it, but it was fully yesterday that I did this. And unfortunately, I have the attention or the brain power of a goldfish right now, so that's just gone. Okay, so our first map event, we have some reinforcements showing up. Can you tell why we decided to move where we did? I'm hoping that I didn't put them in so dangerous a position that they get killed right away. That would be very disappointing. Misaki actually might be in danger. We'll see. So, this base. Everyone is debating right now about how we should handle this surprise attack and what we should do with said base, because I forgot to mention this earlier. One of the reasons why the Macross can't do anything is it's caught in a tractor beam from Exodore and Britai's battleship, which was part of the plan of what to SOS them here. So everyone's like, yeah, we should blow up the base. We should set off the nuclear reactor in it, and that seems like what everyone. Oh boy, I forgot to put a bullseye on Giant Robo. Whoops, that's my bad. Okay. Oh right, we put the Excel on. Well, given that, I guess we're just gonna block them then. Or, oh wait, no, I'm sorry, I'm being dumb. We should block and attack. That works better because we're still defending, and we at least get a chance to do some damage. Okay. Everyone's like, yeah, blowing up the base seems like a good idea, except for Misa, because she can't bring herself to annihilate something that is that reminds her of Raibar, which seems kind of like, if not lover, maybe just family member. But it feels like there's some amount of connection there, more than just oh man, I hope my coworker's okay. Yeah, so my plan I wouldn't say it failed per se, but it sure didn't work as great as I wanted to. Yikes. Okay, that's what we were hoping to see. Do that a second time. We can take another hit like this. And we can kill. Okay, that is exactly how I wanted that to go. That's very good. And like honestly, even taking the damage is kind of how I wanted that to go, because now that's like a really easy heal. Yes, so Misa now just informed us that we have some different objectives now. What did you go down one more? Okay, so this says 8 turns, but it's on turn 8, so it's 5 turns since the flag got triggered. It got triggered at the end of turn 3, so we have 4 more turns. As long as we survive those 4 turns without anyone landing on the base, we are safe. And one of the failure conditions is if all of our units are shot down, or one of the failure conditions is if one of the enemy units lands on the base, we lose. And then the other ones, the other usuals. But that our win is specifically coming from surviving. It's a defend map. It's like a traditional style defend map. Okay, this situation is not at all how I wanted to go. I also remember the giant robo blocking better. If we're going to keep using it, we might need to invest into its defense again. Okay, y'all did sort of just line up for this, so let's do that again. That seems pretty easy. And hush up. Excellent. I'm not sure when I started putting a P at the end of that word. There was for sure some voice acting that was just like really over voice acted. That sounded like they were saying hush up, like hush up or like hush up, and it's stuck with me ever since, unfortunately. Okay. Ryune is decently close to her map attack, but she is really far away from any targets that could eventually actually care about it. You are well within range for Max. This is an easy kill, though I forgot to EXP. No, I didn't. I obviously checked that beforehand and knew that was not going to actually matter. Okay. This is probably a good target to get separated on. If we can actually land the hit, that's not going to be accurate. That's actually surprisingly accurate. Okay. If we can actually land the hit. Oh, that's really risky. This will be a good use of this. No, awful, atrocious. It does not help that we also probably are going over limits for a lot of these. Oh, no, we're not. We're not. Okay. Did we check the 1700 power attack? I don't know if we did. I think that 86 is our best bet. For this one, yeah, our 83s are our 83 is our best bet. What spirit? Oh, we could put the focus on. We could put the focus on. Oh yeah. Oh yes. No. Oh no. Oh, we did so little damage. Why did we do so little damage? Okay, well, that's unfortunate. I forgot to check their damage stats. Do these pilots... Is he one of the... There's always one of them that just, like, has nothing going on for one of the damage types. Yeah, okay, well... that's what I get for trying to be goofy. You wouldn't watch me if everything worked out perfectly the first time, though, I suppose. Okay, how about this now? There we go. At least that did something. We'll recover fine. Well, I guess at this point then y'all just go back in the battleship because you're practically worthless like this. I think maybe lesson learned that the Voltace does not separate strats. That only the Combattler does. Of these two. For sure, Flash. Let's not lose another part to being stupid. Yeah, easy. Come back together, and that's probably a good answer, seeing as we don't really have, like, they don't have movement. They're also potentially getting hampered down by any weirdness of terrain because they're not flying. That seems plenty easy. The Ava needs to stay with the battleship for its connection to work, so we're going to move it roughly up here because, again, unfortunately, I do know a little bit about what's happening with this map. And then the rest of this group can go over here. The Voltes definitely factored into my plans about making any of these actions over here do something, so that's unfortunate. We are at 6 range, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, I know what that looks like. We are just within 6 range of with just one enemy. Assuming they don't start moving, though. Our dodge is what, 346? I'm trying to decide whether putting the focus on actually matters or not. There, I think it does. That's 380, 390 almost. Let's toss that focus on. And yeah, that should be fine. And then let's check here also. If we can just chip everyone down, that's not bad. It's not great, but it's not bad. If we could just learn which fairy gave us Excel, I would be over the roof, through the moon. And we will just inch these boys forward. And you can, I guess, just heal yourself. And I suppose we should put the Spirit on, because that's also improving our defenses. Like, that's one of our best ways of improving defense. I guess one of the other ways we improve defense is... I don't really want to, though. Okay, let's see if we can get 3 kills down here. That could make a really big difference, because if we can get 3 kills, we can have the giant robo do its best attack, and like one of its best ways of surviving is just killing thing. Okay, that battleship is going to like absolutely heck us up, though. We've learned that lesson the hard way. We fought like a dozen of them, so we should save that battleship exclusively for when we are in full form. Why is our accuracy trash on all of these? Okay. I guess no separate strats for us today. That's a bit of a bummer. Okay, Masaki is probably... Okay, you know what? Let's warm ourselves up with a map attack, shall we? Yeah, like this. We're gonna move up a 1 space so we don't accidentally blow ourselves up, or blow the rest of our team up, I should say. Like that will work. We can't really do much better because they don't have a bullseye and we don't have ways of like adding accuracy in other effects. So I guess let's fire and we'll just see what we do. Oh, come on, please be good. Nice, we knew we were gonna hit them. That's off. So little damage, but yeah, that's fine. Cool. We gotta make sure no one's actually getting on the map, or on the base. And we can probably just do this with Masaki next turn. Oh, no, we can't. We need to give him energy if we're gonna keep doing that. I missed that part of that equation. That's fine. So here's the thing. We need to get rid of this battleship at some point because it's going to be a real nuisance, but maybe we just don't actually get rid of it. Maybe we just sort of like let it hang around for a while and we just like sort of body block it when it gets closer. But no, that's not good. No one's actually getting on the base. I really need to use Ryusei there correctly. Oh, yikes. Okay. Let's try separate strats here. We might as well check. Oh, they have so much range too. This works. Maybe this just works good against super enemies and not real enemies. That's not nothing. We could have Nautico. Oh. We could have Nautico come down here. Punch this with a bullseye, and if she doesn't kill, we have a map attack available, or not a map, a free attack available to us. But I think this might be lethal. Yeah. Okay. Maybe a bit of a misplay on her then, seeing as we could have seeing as we probably could have killed something that was like at fuller health. Okay, Young, you can get to this one? Okay, that's promising. Let's take a look at what that combat looks like then. We like line this up. Here's a flash. Here's a bullseye. You're at 37. This is at 32. That EXP does not matter. And punch. Nice. Perfect. Clean. And then we can have Ginray come in. I like a little bit more forward. And we get a free heal. Or yeah, we get to heal. I keep saying free for all these things because in my mind, like, I've like freed up the actions such that they don't feel like they're costing me anything. They're obviously still taking turns or like still taking the resource that they're using, but they're like I'm gun shy about using the word optimal, right? But it is a move that is definitely like the most desirable of all their options. I usually we've not really established good language for that yet. We need for sure a bullseye. Anything short of that is kind of a waste here. Whatever these like big turrety boys are, the Gurajis are perhaps the most scary. So I think this is what's going to need to go. Okay, totally fine. Totally fine. We can take some damage. And then this full health one is for sure going to be the property of the Don Cougar. A shame we don't have better post-movement attacks. Don't they have a big heck-off sword that they swing at people? Is this one of the games where you can like upgrade your weapons in enough ways that they let you have a different weapon? This should be lethal because they're stupid. Yeah, great. Okay, I think that we're perfectly at 130. Incredible, excellent. Let's go down here, and that's now available to us. Have we chipped any of these? We have not. Here is a. We should not have healed on him. That was a bit of a waste. We've definitely been misplaying the giant robo today, pretty heinously. He was power crept stats wise for a different point in the game, but now is turbo not. But like, that's still going to be good, basically always. Just a button that says I win combat. We could sneak the giant robo into the back and just like take Kamjin out. Or we can just do it right now. He's already attacking us, so we may as well use the defend. Or sorry, he is attacking us and he already has 100% accuracy. We may as well use the defend. The like block attack option, because that's I'm saying it out loud, not because I don't like. I'm saying it out loud because I need to like remind myself that an option exists. I keep forgetting about it. I think I've wasted a lot of damage that way. This is so slow. I was going to wait till the end to like let it be dramatic, but I forgot how slow this is. That beam coating worked absolute wonders. That was so clean. We checked all the green boys in front, but I forgot to check Kamjin actually himself for the beam. Ooh, we did nothing. Interesting why they like defaulted to that. Okay, I need to like not trust the defaults as much in this game as I'm used to, which is fine. I'm okay with that. We're gonna dodge. Yeah, that's good. You are going to... I am perhaps okay. Are we okay with that? Wish I could see the flipping map. Let's just fire one of these. That's okay. Oh, that's okay. That did not do not nearly enough damage. Oh, right. Because it's ranged. We are using like some of our worst stats. That's fine. We will do this. We will take little. Yeah. Oh, we deal with. Okay, yeah. So we should just be blocking with the giant robo at this point. And he's really here to just like walk forward 3 steps. Yeah, short of being able to do this, he's just there to walk forward and do that. Okay, that's fine. I'm definitely seeing some limitations of it now being on like this side of things, which is fine. Okay. These now have all gotten rather scary. I think we might need to be body blocking the base now to like actually make this survivable. Combat? Oh, lame. Okay. This game heckin' loves its klaxons. We could probably make a like normal YouTube length video of just the klaxons. Unfortunately though, that little bit was not translated also. I'm not sure what 200% is. Maybe the like engines are at 200, like not the engines, but the reactors at 200% power. Okay, do we have a bullseye left? We do. Okay, I'm pretty sure we had a bullseye left. Get ready to get punched. Die for me. Thank you. Down he goes. And he grabs the Chop Ham armor. Oh, speaking of parts, also, my text unhelpfully tells me that there is a Min-Mei doll somewhere amongst the aliens. Golly thanks. Oh, I forgot that not Cybusters, literally not the Cybuster, the Valsion R's map attack does not hit allies. That is like the big difference between her and the Cybuster. So we're shooting up everything that's accuracy, EXP, and a dodge, just like shoving her in the middle of enemies. But I mean, we barely did any damage to these, so I just probably isn't going to kill anybody. But I'd rather do the chip. I guess actually, sorry. The other big difference with this map attack is this is ammo based too. So it's more fixed. We can't improve it, but ooh, yikes! That's barely anything. Okay. Okay, that's kind of a problem. We're gonna need to try and kill 2 of them. Though we have some easy kills. Like this is definitely a kill, and the Dunbine should for sure at this point be this kill threshold. Here is a focus, and here is a flash. Presumably they are going to want to target us, seeing as we have low HP, and hopefully we can use the fact that we are a squishy real to bait some enemy attacks. Cool. Oh, what's happening? This is new. Oh boy, that's so much more stuff. Okay. These are really concerning. Those are really concerning. I don't think they expected us to be this like far out. I think given that we need to beat the feet back and I guess okay. Separate. Take a passing shot at this guy. Easy, clean, free. That one was free, right? That is actually a correct description of the word free there. And then, you know what? Your morale is high enough. Let's put you back in the Reinforced Junior. And then you excel, and then we can drop you off next turn. We can't separate with them, but that's not the end of the world. Okay, let's deal with this now. Yes, that's fine. Oh, wait, he doesn't have a bullseye. Okay, well. Okay. I don't know why I was remembering Brooklyn having a bullseye, but that's fine. It's okay, because we land those hits. That may have been unnecessary valor, but I kind of wanted to spend it because I think we need that save day. Yo, he's got a fortune. Incredible. Incredible. My boy has a job again. Let's get you back to base 2, or try to. We do have a map attack. We do have a map attack on Max 2. Okay, we were at turn 5. We need to survive 3 more turns. This is definitely pretty spooky. You get on, you get on, you get on, you get on. Okay. Oh man, actually, I think we're just dead. That's so horrid. That's such rubbish. Like, we can snipe one of these out. We can't snipe out the one that we kind of need to get rid of. Oh, no. We do need to get rid of this one the most. That's actually important. How close? You are 1 space away. So what if we stood in your way and also still managed to take this one out? That is probably one of the best things we can do. So here's a bullseye, and here's a valor. And for what's worth, here's a flash. But this one needs to go because it can get to the most tiles. Yes, and hopefully we've body blocked here. We've not. Okay. Do either of you two have an Excel? I think these two being here might have also killed us, because they only have 1 range attacks, and that's definitely to our detriment. I mean, just pushing forward as much as we did, I think maybe killed us. But okay. You're not getting on. 1, 2, 3. All 3 of those are. And we still have 3 units up. If we can get 3 kills, I don't think we can. We could be okay. Yeah, I guess you were supposed to move last turn, in fact, actually. Good gracious. Can you get a kill from... Can you get an attack from here? Ooh. Okay. That actually makes thing... Oh, no, but that's not a character that's not something we actually care about. Oh. I guess it's better than nothing. Here's a bullseye. Does snipe exist in this game? Hold on, we should look. Snipe does exist in this game. Never mind. We are still live. We're definitely saving the Don Cougar for whatever we're not able to accomplish with everybody else. Okay, here is a bullseye. I think we're still in this. We are gonna need a spirit and a valor, so let's split those. Actually, no, hold on. We're gonna use both of them here. I don't think we've got time for extra experience. We were like really in it, and now I feel super not. Where is a extra movement? There we go. Yeah, it turns out what we should have done is we should have just stayed at the base. I knew this was going to be a defensive objective. Turns out we should have just stayed at the base. Valor's probably a bit overkill, but at this point, who cares? We need to make sure stuff is dying. Okay, that helps. Do you have a movement? No, you do not. Sidebuster, do you have a movement? No, you do not. Because if we could also just like put someone on here, we would be perfectly safe. That is not the worst that is ammo based. But this is morale based. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh no, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's such a shame that the Cosmonova doesn't actually hit. Like we could make it available to us, but we can't actually like make it hit. Okay. We can go here. For sure that's not gonna be lethal though. Okay. So, you know what? Ginrai and the Psybuster can team up on this one. And then the Dankugar can attack this one. And then I think we're in the clear. Okay. And then let's just have these two move back somewhere. Okay. How does the Psybuster need to be? Okay, the Psybuster can be anywhere, so we can let Ginrai be wherever is like most accurate for, or like best for her accuracy. Okay, you also need to land this. Great. And have a Valor, because if we can free up our action, all the better. I appreciate how tense this got so rapidly, but like, give me more defend maps, please. Okay, we are super into the clear now. Dankugar, show us why you are an absolute hunkin' beast. This here, you know what? We probably don't even need the Valor. We don't even need the Valor. Flipping incredible. And then Psybuster can clean this one up for next turn. Why risk leaving it around? And here's where having that resupplier would have been a good. Okay, sick. This is a very temporary win because we still have all of those little flying goobers next turn to deal with. So that's cool and fun and fresh. What are we doing? Good golly, there's so many reinforcements. Yeah, we were definitely supposed to stay on the base. I got too ambitious about killing Kamjin and then send everybody out, but that's not the answer. Oh, look, Banjo. Yo, my guy, are you going to help? Are you going to help? Oh, yes. Thank you. Thank you. Just another extra body on the board would be so helpful. Even starts on the base. Once we cover the base tiles, we are like fully set. We're totally going to be fine. Okay, cool. Stop talking. Everyone's really impressed by him. Noriko in particular is really sad. This also came a little bit from earlier, but she really wants to like ride in / get to be part of the Daitarn 3 somehow. Because she's also an otaku like Ryusei. Which is cute and fun. I like that. But so one of the reasons why they were planning on blowing up the base is there was also a transmission saying that like this area was going to get attacked or something like that. Anyway, and they were wondering if it was Banjo who sent it, but no, he did not, and he said he would leave instructions for later. So he introduced himself by saying we'll talk about this later. So hopefully we'll get some more about him during the intermission. Okay, this is probably a good bet. We don't need to like actually super turbo overkill now. Yeah, that's good. We just want to take stuff off the board. We're going to do that 2 more times. This does prevent us from having that, like, the giant laser cannon for the battleship. But, like I said, I think we might just be ignoring the battleship. Can we do this without spending our energy? Oh, we can. Even better. That's really nice. That worked out really, really nicely. Could any of you get in range of the Daitarn, please? Combat. Okay, sure, whatever. As long as we can get onto the map, as long as we can get onto the base, we are going to be happy. Interesting where those are going. This is turn 5 or this is turn 6. I'm also unsure of whether we need to make it to turn 8 or whether we need to live through enemy phase turn 8. I'm never sure with these. I feel like it's always a hit or miss. Like, they're saying 2 turns left, but like that still isn't necessarily the most clear. We're a bit in panic mode, so I'm not even gonna think about Yo, he has awakened. Oh my word. Okay. I'm not going to think too hard about the Daitarn right now, and then we're just going to sort of see what happens and analyze him a little bit later. Sorry. You can't get onto the base. Incredible. Perfect. Do we have a bullseye somewhere else? We do not. So I kind of don't want to spend the Excel. Yeah, let's go here. Oh, you know what? Standing on the base is also going to restore our energy, right? That's fine. That's fine. Yes, it will. Okay, so getting the Dankugar on the base is also a must. Hello, Miss Genius. Can you... Oh, that's interesting. Is this not standable? Because no one can seem to get on it. No, okay. These ones can. Unfortunate. Ryusei can for sure get on there. Yeah, okay. So we can still have Young punch this boy. We can get Noriko on this side. The Psybuster definitely is going to value being on here. Oh, actually, putting the Psybuster on here is perhaps one of our best bets. Then we can move 3 spaces. Okay, no, we're good. We're good. Here's a Excel, and we got to have a bullseye with somebody still. We do. Let's see what that will accomplish for us with the Combattler. Then Ryusei does not need to be at the front. Okay, hold on. What are we working with here? This is... Why are all those stats blue? Oh, I have no idea what Masaki has. Okay, I guess the unit's getting pumped from whatever one of its abilities is. Okay. This is what? 378 avoid, knowing that the equation is not the same, but we can compare like a like. This is 362. So putting Masaki first is our better bet. Okay. The Ryusei can come back here. Good. Let the Ginrei Robo heal the Dankugar for half of a level. And what is that spirit? It's too crunchy for me to parse that. I think that's the you can just get free all your energy back. That gives you all your energy back. Oh, right. You weren't actually in the battleship, which is definitely a bit of a detriment. That's, I guess, we will tolerate. Here's a bullseye. And kill you. Great. Sure, another sword cut. I'm still not thinking about whether those matter or not. Noriko can go on here, right? Because we did give her some stats. Because I'm assuming they're going to get passed over to a later robot she has. And it looks like we are good, because nothing can get on that one tile we have nobody on. We will need to... Yeah, we'll move someone back there, obviously, next turn. But, how bad does that go? Probably pretty bad. How much are these worth? How much are we risking here? Oh, we're risking practically nothing. Okay. We do just need to kill stuff, and I doubt they're going to target her very much. We'll see. There was our Minmay doll, I believe. We got a part from that, and I clicked through it too fast because I was not actually expecting to see a part. Okay, we can move Max back here. Not the map attack. This hits allies. Oh, maybe it doesn't hit allies. Okay, that's... I do kind of remember... I kind of remember someone, probably Cam, saying in the comments that it... something about the map attacks. There was he mentioned to me that there was some map attack that involved not hitting allies. That was like a standard feature of them. Maybe that was it. Maybe that was that. Okay, we have some options here. Oh no, this is actually energy based in this game. Okay, never mind. I feel pretty confident in saying that it was not energy based in Complete Box. That I recall it having 3 points of ammo to it. Is how that's shaking out. Okay, how about we just get close? Not actually that much better. Are we still? We didn't actually use the flash. Okay, that's fine. I suspect this group is probably not going to end up doing much for the rest of this mission, but if stuff's sitting in the way here, we may as well get some free resources going, right? Right. Oh boy, Brooklyn, but you're. I know I maybe scuppered this by not giving him a better birthday, but I think just seeing how these things have been working, finding a birthday for the main characters that involves a bullseye seems pretty good. I'm also seeing that the Bilbine probably is worth having some is worth putting some energy into if we're gonna keep like chaining these sword cut the aura slashes now. Cool. These things have been really chunky for XP. That's been really nice. Okay, I'm that turn was much less scary, you know. What are we hitting? Okay, that is fine. Yeah, see, that doesn't matter now. Sure, you can hit the Genway Robo. Yeah, I love so much that she does actual damage. This is a good game to play at the same time as W, because W also has a lot of support units that actually just feel like they are combat units with the upside of being able to use one of the support commands. Okay, I for sure feel back in control of the situation. So, while we are here, I guess this has been pretty effective, having a 2 to 5 range melee attack. Banjo for sure has better melee than he has range. I don't even need to check that. Its accuracy right now is because of the bullseye, but that's fine. Like having ooh, that's interesting. Having an intended use for our bullseyes is not the worst. Like, having a unit that basically wants us to have bullseye on every turn is not the worst thing. Just like we need to remember to if we plan around that, great. Interesting that these are not going for a base, that these are going for kills. That's so curious. I guess the reinforcements have just like different programming, maybe. But great, I'll give kills to the Valcion. I'm happy with that. Get blocked. Oh, we also should like show the animation for the Daitarn. Maybe we will end up showing that another time. I'm trying to be a little bit hasty in my recording. I gotta wrap it up pretty quickly. Then that'll work. But it definitely feels like another super in the form of the Combattler and the Voltace, who at this juncture in the game are kind of unique for just having a plethora of different attacks. And that's like one of their claims to fame, and it's a useful claim to fame that there's like always kind of something relevant they get to do with any of their actions. Let's switch here. Oh, you can't actually move on the base then. Okay. Right, this has to be flying, so we can move Ryusei here, have this attack. Great. Okay. I kind of thought this was going to die. 96 HP left. Cool, cool. I wonder how many other reinforcements there are, because I feel like we're getting, there's not a ton left happening here. We may as well, I think we try and commit to the killing the battleship if we can help it. I'm pretty confident saying we're not going to get both of them, but we may as well try getting one of them down, seeing as we have lots of free actions. We need a way to not get hit by that, because that will kill us. Okay, never mind. Here, yes, easy. Do we have a Valor? We do. Yeah, no, this battleship's going down. This battleship's going down. Easy. I guess now enemies are close. No, we can't use them. The Macross does not even have the ability to attack. That's a shame. Let's not risk our battleship dying, and instead we can have the Reinforcement Junior just... There's no way it's going to kill this. Let's have it pick off an enemy that we otherwise don't want to promote our units to. Yeah, easy, clean. Delightful. I'm okay with Max doing that. We should also... I don't think we've seen that attack, or is that the full salvo? You know what? It's like kind of canon. They're from the same series. Let's show it off anyway. We've looked at so few attacks today, so let's rock it. But it also didn't attack after moving, so it seems pretty safe. Oh boy. I'm so glad we trained Max. I'm so glad we've been training Max. Very good choice. Very good choice. I'm a little sad that I can't, like, skip this now. I don't care about seeing this, like, shoot its little nostril cannons. Okay. I figured we were going to kill this at some point. We might be killing this turn. I guess let's think about... Oh, yo. I did not expect the sun attack to be 4,200 power. Good lord. That's just free some other time. This is the attack now. I say... Also, we actually didn't even need the bullseye. Like, that's still pretty darn accurate without a bullseye. I think the Daitarn can probably just handle getting hit like this. Let's show off the Daitarn, and then... yeah, we can finish with the Combattler. I'm taking for granted that the Combattler still has a Valor and a Fortune left. I'm pretty sure it does. I'm pretty sure it does, though. This is a smaller Combattler than I was expecting. It's a lot more like dynamic and human size than I was expecting, because like it's a large unit, right? Though I guess this game has a lot of extra large. We've seen like a lot of double large units so far, so maybe that's part of it. Maybe that's part of it. I do like its face though. It looks more Shogun-y this way. It seemed very static in a lot of the pictures or like a lot of the art we've seen of it in other games, where here it definitely feels way more dynamic. Do you have a Valor left? Oh, you don't have a Valor at all. Okay, that's fine. Oh, this is 100% gonna work. Okay, let's use, yeah, I think this plus the Combattler is lethal now. Though maybe we should have gone for the, oh, this was dumb of me. We should have gone for the Combattler first because we knew we had a Fortune here. We can save this one. We might actually be able to get the other battleship. We might be able to get the other enemy battleship down next turn. We still have a turn theoretically, right? I think we have to survive turn 8. This is turn 7, pretty sure. Are we gonna kill from here? We would just kill from here. No? Okay. Totally fine. Totally acceptable. I'm happy to get some extra cash. Great. Perfect. Coolio. Then... yeah, okay. Great. I had to pause for a little bit there, so apologies if I lost track of thought, but we are rocking and rolling. Okay, what turn is it? It's turn 7. Right. We are cashing out with the Combattler. Yes, we have. Oh, we have 2 fortunes left. That is good to remember that we also have a Combattler fortune for the other battleship we want. We have a game also. We're only 1 level off, and it is like we have been shown that these things are serious business. So it's quite possible we'll get a lot of value out of it too. We got 2 bullseyes here, perfect, and oh, man, I'm like a little scared that's actually going to do enough damage. Yeah, hold on, we're fine. We have the extra power behind having a like 180 melee. Yeah, we're good. Oh, the crit probably helped too. Sick. Okay, the 12,000 for that fortune is definitely acceptable. Asuka, can you kill? You got so many bullseyes left for sure. 35. We're not gonna be here. We're gonna be here 1 other turn, so we can use the game, even for whatever little difference it does. That was not a little difference. That was a not inconsiderable difference. We'll give this to the Valsion. So show us what you can do. Actually, he might just kill. He might just kill by himself. Do we have? No, we used both our fortunes already. Okay, that's fine. Here's a focus, and here is lethal. Yeah, the crit definitely got it. Okay, cool. We gained a ton. We gained a ton of levels this map. It's been very productive for us. Okay, Noriko, do you have a defense? Do neither of these 2 fools have defensive qualities to them? Oh, no, Young does. Okay. So we can... Oh, we already have a flash on, even better. These gave a lot of XP over in the corner, but I believe the ones that were... What's this man's name who I cannot remember, who we just sort of smite every time we see him? Kumjin. I believe his were higher level, so maybe not as productive here, but we'll try it. And what the heck, have a Valor too. You probably aren't going to see much more combat than this. But we also had Noriko available to us, who we could have taken off the base and then moved Yune on. Ginrai. Yune, somebody different. I would like to be able to play as Yune and Quest at some point. I did always like their designs visually. It's been a hot minute since I've watched Char's Counterattack. I'm sure I will take umbrage with both of their characters for different reasons. But Banjo did not take a lethal amount of damage from this. We also can counterattack while defending, so that'll work. Yo, and our shield kicked in. Incredible. It having shield defense is really, really relevant for its survivability. And it keeps kicking in. I wonder what the shield procs are. It feels more manageable in this game to me to check, because we're probably using like quite much more simple numbers. I feel like that is true. I don't actually know if that is true though. We'll have to see. I see no point in trying to dodge this with a super. I think it's fine. Easy. Yeah, okay, yeah, here's our like critical turn. Oh, okay, great. See, this is what I was talking about. I feel like last time we had this objective requirement, we were told that it was turn 8, we had to survive turn 8, but this time we just had to reach turn 8, I think. Or maybe that's just all Fire Emblem talking in my head. But I'm glad we spent the way that we did now knowing this. I'm glad we went for the kill. we just sort of unceremoniously returned to the conversation we were having before, where Misa like continues about the base that we were sort of exploring that we did, like, I guess we blew up. We didn't get an actually good answer on that. We said that we were going to have it set to blow after 5 minutes, so 5 turns. But she's just apologetic for worrying everyone, which maybe that happened a little bit more. We did miss some dialogue, and we did see Misa and Claudia talking in there too. But that gets sort of brushed aside pretty quickly because Global and Banjo are both they're each equally surprised to see each other here. Banjo, like, why is he back on Mars? He's presumably on Earth. And Banjo's like, oh, bud, where are you? Where have you been? Why are y'all here? Good golly, the Earth has turned into a mess since last you left. I didn't feel like we were gone that long, but maybe we've been in space for we were maybe in space for a minute, and especially if we're using the Gunbuster style like teleportation. And maybe Macross does this too. We were literally using Macross technology to travel through space. The Gunbuster world definitely very much depends on the fact that, like, space travel is going to desync time. So maybe we were gone a lot longer than I realized. But a lot has fallen apart. So Neogeon and the Titans are now actively aggressive with each other. Big surprise. We saw it coming. It just finally, that shoe hit. And the Titans and also Byston Well are in conflict with each other too. So like that alliance also broke down. Or perhaps more Byston Wellians have shown up. That could be also. And Banjo was also there trying to like preempt a conversation combat with the Arrogators. He wanted to see if they were doing anything on Mars. But turns out they weren't, so I guess that's fine. And he offers us all the rest of the supplies on the Mars base because theoretically he's rich enough to be allowed to say he can do that, I guess. We get some more Noriko character development now through Banjo. So the Daitarn is just like stupidly large. It's like preposterously large compared to the rest of its like contemporaries. Contemporaries is the exact right word, but I think you know what I mean. That like a lot of the other super robots that are relative to how the Daitarn works either it's one pilot and it is considerably smaller, or it is the same size and there's more pilots involved in it. But it's 120 meters tall. It's honking huge. So it doesn't actually fit in the battleships. They're like, I guess we just like rope it to the bottom of one of the battleships. Noriko, being the otaku that she is, says that like, well, can't Banjo just like call it him? Like, isn't that like one of the gimmicks that it has? He could just like show up wherever he wants it to. And then they start talking about her otaku-ness. Her, Ryusei, and Ryune are talking about like the nature around a lot of their upbringings and the love of robots. And Ryusei thinks that Ryune had a good upbringing because Bien taught her a lot about giant robots. And she's like, well, you know, a parent can do more than just that, but I do appreciate it like right immediately now because it did just save our lives. And Banjo sort of... the text makes it read very unemotional. I don't know how emotionally intelligent the man is, but he does just sort of like step into the middle of that conversation, like slice it open, and then start asking about the other larger robot that's being developed right now called the Gunbuster. We've now said the words. Though he's talked as if it's not being sent to anyone in particular. It doesn't seem like it's like we don't know that Noriko is going to be its pilot yet, but it could theoretically handle the Zentradi or obviously the space monsters, the enemies from its own series. But also particularly the Zentradi, it could probably like solo every problem that we have about it. So everyone is really interested in seeing it. And Noriko also, I guess like a little bit before that, was saying that she wishes she could like have access to something that was as big as the Daitarn, which is very funny. Ah ha ha! I wonder if that'll ever happen. Oh my word! Wow. Knowing that the Gunbuster is like almost twice the size of the Daitarn. Had to make sure this was not the actual choice for the route split, but no, this is just if we need an explanation of what's happening with the route split. So all this dialogue got summed up really, really quickly. as Banjo also has come with 3 honkin' massive rockets that we're going to strap to the bottom of each of our battleships and just send them off in a direction to accomplish a couple of different objectives. Option 1, we can send the Reinforcement Junior to Axis to talk to Neo Zeon. Option 2, we have the Gran Gran going to the moon to enlist the help of Yugo. I don't recognize that name, but it could be because we spelled it differently or then different than what I would know it as. And the Riga the Riga militia, which it theoretically would help Kimi better, but still unknown to me. We could go to the moon and try to recruit them to help address the problems with the colonies immediately, which I did not think was immediately of a concern. But maybe when they say colonies, maybe they're talking about some of the larger, some of the broader but not specifically named entities of the Universal Century Gundam. And then we can just go back to our old stomping ground. We can send the Godaon back to Earth to go to the Far East base, and then we will pick up members of DC and IPO, and then we can address the Titan and Byston-Wellian concern on Earth. So those are our 3 options. They are each part of a route split. That route split lasts 4 maps. There's also a route split after that, but that's based on Real versus Super, so we've already addressed that one. I was originally looking at making this choice based on how many expert points there were, but I didn't actually read what they were because I want to still be a little bit surprised. I could just count the pluses and minuses without really reading into it too much. And the numbers were pretty close to each other, but not knowing how actual difficult it was going to be, maybe that's not actually a good judge. I was trying to weigh the expert points as a way to assess the difficulty of the stage, but we've clearly demonstrated that that's not necessarily accurate. But instead, I should just pick the obvious way. I'm thinking about this. I'm being cattywampus about this. Just pick the one that has the units we're using the most. So Reinforcement Junior gives us Zeta Double Zeta, Char's Counterattack, 0080. We can't just say all the Universal Century because some of them are going elsewhere. This also has Macross, Gunbuster, the SRX team, and the Raideen. I'm sad we're not picking this because we're losing out on Max, and we're losing out on the Gunbuster. I would really like to see the Gunbuster show up on its first scenario. I'm kind of thinking we're going to miss it by not taking this route, but that's okay. We can see the Gunbuster show up for the first time in another game. On the Gran Gran route, we're definitely not picking this one. It's 083, Victory Gundam, Gundam F91, Lord of Elemental, so Masaki, and maybe Ryune also, maybe. I don't remember what game she came out first. Mazinger Z and Gundam Wing. So for sure we're not taking this one. We've trained basically none of these units. And the route we're going to take is the Godaon route because it has Dunbine, absolutely. Getter Robo, not really been training, but not been training. They'll probably get some flunky use. Dunkugar, easy in. Combattler V, Voltes V, absolutely easy in. Giant Robo, Evangelion, Daitarn 3. This is the super route. We're going to take this route. I know we keep saying that we want to do some more real stuff, but especially with these older games, it feels really hard to commit to real things without having more context first. So we're gonna go with what we already know, which is the super side. So that sends us back to Earth to go to the Far East base. A little boring, but we'll accept, I suppose. And that'll wrap things up for me. I know I talked about a couple of things that I would like to potentially put some resources into. Some of that was probably a little bit of energy for the Bilbine. We definitely have some limits that we need to bear in mind. We need to bump people up to address that. I'm tempted to maybe look up if the Don Cougar has a weapon they can upgrade to get another attack. Because I'm pretty sure in GC, which was the last time I used them, they had their best attack was this flying super heck off sword that we don't have here. So I will at least think about that. I feel like there was something else I wanted to put points into. And getting potentially Ryune and Masaki more energy. If we can spend a little, but give them either 2 or 1.5 of their map attacks and see how many turns it'll take to regen the rest of it, it'll at least be a consideration. That said, we don't have access to Masaki right now, so that might just be a Ryune thing. But again, we will address that in the preps starting next mission. We're just going to call it to a close now because I think this map is going to be long. It's hard for me to tell because I had to take the break and the recording time is not helpful for me now. But this felt good. This level of difficulty is exactly what I want these games to be at all times. I love defend maps for exactly that. I think that was like turn 4, turn 5. We had that like crunch turn of like, oh no, are we going to make it? And like we needed all of those to work basically, I think exactly the way that they did in order for us to survive that turn. Like I would like some games to be at that at all times. Hopefully that was interesting because that was super heckin' fun on my end of things. Story-wise, I feel like we have hit the preamble for our next like big shake. I did not feel like in the previous games I had played, a route split necessarily was the map before a route split did not necessarily indicate a like story preparatory phase, where I feel like that's a lot more true here. We are getting pretty story light elements before our route splits pretty consistently, and then our route splits tend to be really story focused. If they're using the route split to pay attention to one particular plot line rather than just like arbitrarily dividing things for mechanical reasons. So I can definitely compliment the game on trying to be more story driven. It does feel like we just have like still so many like bits that I don't know if we're actually gonna like pay off at all, knowing that there are sequel games, but we shall see. I'm curious what we're gonna see on the Goat Island route. I can't imagine there's many more units for us to get, or if there are, they're like the conventional upgrades you would expect from what we have seen. I'm really missing out. I'm really missing that let's try that a third time. I'm really sad that we are missing out on the Gunbuster upgrades, but we can be surprised when they show up in our inventory when we return from the route splits. But that is going to be me. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you being here, especially if you stuck it out to the end of a pre-recorded to hear this. This week's a little bit goofy. I am off on Thursday, so no streams to come hang out with me then. If you want to chill with me in person, you're going to have to wait until the Sunday that follows the release date of this, if you're watching this contemporaneously to when it's coming out. But that's just a one-day thing. I am off for my partner's birthday. Nothing to worry about. Everything's cool on my end of things. Normal schedule will resume. That said, we will also still have another pre-recorded episode showing up on Friday. So you only have to wait 2 days if you want to hear my voice at least some other time during this week. So I got my work cut out for me to get my preps done. Other than that, if you'd like to follow along with Book Club, we're watching Martian Successor Nadeshiko. That's episodes 13 to, I believe, 18. Yeah, that's 6. That's for this week. Definitely season 2 is shaping up better than season 1. We're sort of petering out at the end there, but that's fine. I think it's still, largely speaking, above what my expectations were going to be from what we had with season 1. Definitely have some questions. Would love to hear some of your thoughts about things, especially if it's your first time watching it also. It's very different than I was expecting, but I will probably end up talking a lot more story-wise about it on this channel once we play a game that we just pick Nadeshiko as our like primary carry for that game. So you can also wait till then, but if not, comment wherever you'd like any of your thoughts about Nadeshiko, or come hang out with us in person during a stream. We can talk about it then too. We've been very off topic with streams, so if you're keeping it to robots would be at least a boon to me. Other than that, I think everything else is just normal. So I will see you whenever you'd like to be around, and I will bid you all a fond farewell. Make meaning out of the rest of your day. Enjoy your evening, and I'll see you out in the stars.